Hey guys, welcome to our new show. This is the top 14. This week, we're in Bordeaux.
Bordeaux is a city that's loved rugby for a long time. In the city there are two main clubs, the rich Bordelais, Stade Bordelais, and then the working class Bègles. Stade Bordelais, they won the championship, but we're talking 100 years ago, 80 years ago. Since then, they've not done anything. It's been Bègles, the working class suburb, where the rugby has been a passion that's led them to winning the championship in the 60s and the 90s. Okay, in the 90s, some great players like Bernard Laporte and Vincent Moscato, who lifted the trophy, the Bouclier de Brennus. However, when it went professional, money troubles forced them down the leagues. The team was not successful and was really struggling. Then along came Laurent Marty. The current president managed to fuse the two clubs, hence creating Union Bordeaux-Bègles. And since 2006, when they fused, they got promoted in 2011. They've been growing every year. More money, bigger crowds, getting a better squad and some world-class players. They're going to need that world-class squad when they come to play Stade Francais this weekend.
I'm here in the Bar Notre Dame. It's one of my favourite bars in Bordeaux, owned by Thierry, who's given me his newspapers. I have many happy hours in this bar. A few embarrassing ones too. Now, the newspapers, when you read through them, are strongly coming out on the side of UBB, on the side of Bordeaux. They're really focusing on Jalibert and Penaud, how many tries they're scoring, how much they're creating. And they're giving that the edge over Stade Francais. Now, I agree with this. I think Bordeaux can win this game and will win this game. And they will win it because of that danger and their ability to cut teams to shreds when the moment arrives. But if those forwards, that pack of forwards, the Bordeaux forwards, can't deal with that pressure game that Stade Francais bring, then the game won't go their way. Now, two of the players who will be vital to that are going to be the second rows. And I talked to Adam Coleman and Kane Douglas earlier this week. What's your thoughts on the top 14?
Yeah, it was quite eye-opening going into a first game. You know, it was a away game at racing, but even the crowd, intense. You walk through a tunnel and there's flares, and it's a good competition.
So when you play at Chaban in front of a full house,
yeah, it's unbelievable. Yeah, I think we get like 32,000. It's at a sold-out venue. It's incredible. You know, they're vocal. They have the Mexican wave going around the stadium consistently throughout the game. They have flags, and you know, they live and breathe rugby here in Bordeaux, and they really love it.
How's that compared to your experience at London Irish, for example, when you were playing in the Premiership in England?
Yeah, I think I have two sides of that. We're out at Majeski Stadium at the start of my career with London Irish, and we'll get about 2,000-3,000. And we moved to Brentford, and then we established about 10,000. But yeah, probably a third of the crowd and the atmosphere. London Irish still had a good fan base, but in France they absolutely love rugby. It's like they live and breathe it. Like I say, like we get people that are training today. It's snowing, and there's 50 people watching our training.
So when you moved to top 14, is that one of the things that came clear, that passion and desire for the game?
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. They know you by first name, and they know your kids, and you know it's incredible.
For you two being front five in Australia, mauls and scrums are not a big part of it, but here I'd imagine when they get a hard on for fucking seeing an amazing maul. Fucking seeing a hard on for seeing the scrum and the maul, then it's a different kettle of fish, isn't it? It's a different place.
Yeah.
Definitely a different place. Right, what about the top 14 as a competition? You playing Super Rugby, URC, whatever it's called, back when you were playing in Super Rugby in the Premiership. That top 14 competition, how does it compare to what you played in before? In England or in Australia or Ireland?
I think firstly, like the brand of rugby is different and new. So I've been playing now for a little bit less than this guy, but learning different styles, coming from Australia, going to England, learning the way they play, and then coming over here and learning how they play. Yeah. The French rugby, they play a lot of what's in front of you, play to space. Quite expansive rugby, but also the top 14 on the corporate side is quite a stable competition. Yeah. Where I was at the Western Force, they got cut. I go to London Irish. Maybe it's just me. I go to London Irish. They go into administration, where the top 14 is so stable. They've got a very good salary cap. They pay their players well, and they expect them to play for that.
Yeah, the stability, the business plan side of it. It's interesting you talk about the rugby as well. Yeah. Like Aussies, very organised. English rugby on the whole, very, very organised. Yeah. What do you think about the way they play in France? They want to play expansively. Yeah. How would you explain that to someone in Australia or England? Ditto for UK.
It's sort of like they always speak of it, the French flair. Like they, when they're on, but sometimes it can go to absolute shit too. Like they're trying like to throw it out wide and do something, and the game ends up being scrappy. But like if it's a nice sunny day, like it's pretty cool to watch. Like
you see that amazing rugby. Talk about you boys playing this year. Yeah. Incredible rugby, incredible tries. We'll get onto that in a second. Yeah. But the reason that happens is it due a bit to this way they play quickly at the right time. Do you think? Yeah. Is that difference with your rugby you played before?
Well, I've had like a few different coaches here too, so it's that sort of changes. And
Urios, for example, was more control. Yeah,
and then Yannick has spent a couple or a year abroad, and he's sort of open to new things too. So we've got the Irish coach Noel this year, and so there's we're taking sort of little bits from different. All the coaches have got different experiences, so it's a bit different again this year, but yeah, the same. Like we have got the backs to sort of run and do things this year, which is awesome.
So if Adam arrived 2 years ago, Urios, he probably would have had a different take, do you reckon?
Yeah, I'd say. Like I actually, Christoph was very organised, and this is how we're going to work. This is the schedule, and he everyone does what he says. And this year it's a bit I actually like the schedule this year, where we finish earlier, where less meetings and stuff is good. It's sometimes it's good to have a change too. Like, if you have the same coach for a while, like a bit, breath of fresh air.
So you're certainly, from what you said, you're certainly feeling that breath of fresh air he's talking about. Coming here must be good fun playing.
Yeah, I quite enjoy it. That's the reason why you play rugby, is you want to play what's in front of you. You don't want to be caged into, well, we have to kick contestable here, or we have to maul here, because it's a high percentage play to get us up the field, and it's like chess, like you were saying.
How do you feel the team play? What are their strengths? You explain to someone back in Australia now, or this over UK. Yeah. And what do you say the team's strengths are?
Oh, like when we do our job, like it just looks so easy for the backs. Like if we've done 3 good rucks in a row, that space just opens up and you see the boys. So it's like it is like backs and forwards have got to all do the work. But like if we're not given momentum, we're not sucking all the defenders in. It can be hard for our backs, but
so the moments when you're not working, when you as a front five or front forward back aren't creating that fast ball or go forward ball, and they still try batshit crazy offloads, you're going to pay for it. Yeah. But as soon as you get a good ball, or the opposition, sits fuck up. So as soon as you get great good quality ball, or the opposition gets something wrong, and it's those moments this year, your back line just. Yeah. Well, how would you describe what they do? Is it good to watch?
Well, we have done well with the counter-attack. Like, counter-attack this year has been a big thing for us. So, like, when a ball is on the ground, like, few passes and get out wide and find some space. And then you just, testing the other team's reaction from attack to defence. But, like, Yeah, like a few little things have gone our way too. Like the end of matches, we won a couple of tight games this year where if you can win those type of games and just get 4 points on the board for the season, it's pretty
you
handy.
guys playing at Oyonnax? Talk about tight games.
Yeah, I played that.
How did you feel when, just to describe to everyone, Oyonnax towards the end of the game, there was a penalty shot at goal.
Yeah.
It was missed. It landed in the hands of one of their players who knocked it on.
Yeah.
The player in front of him panicked. And who scored the try?
It was Louis Beale Barry.
Yeah, Beale Barry came up and scored the try to win the game at Oyonnax. How did that feel for you boys watching that?
Yeah, it was pretty great. Like I was on the field, but
I was at home with my toes up.
No, yeah, it was a cold match. First time I played in snow, so it was we all sort of chased. Like I'm not definitely not as fast as Louis Beale Barry. He's probably 30, 40 metres in front of me, but yeah, to win a game like that, you need because those games when you play a team that's pretty low on the table, you can easily off, like more maybe in France, like it's sort of been historically you win your home games, you don't win your away games, but like those teams down the bottom, they get up for playing at home, and sometimes like a team like Bordeaux who we'd been going all right before that, to go there and to go, we're playing like our standards aren't as high, so to get a win like that, and it's pretty cool.
But wins like that, you talk about the strengths of the team, their ability to counter-attack, play that fast ball, and just get the team open. Who are the players for you that stood out this season? Which players in your mind you think, I'm loving playing with him? I really enjoyed playing with this guy.
Do you want to go first or? Well, like the guys that are already in like the French squad, you half expect it. Like so, Jalibert, Max Lucu, Damon Pinot, Louis Beale Barry. But like the one for me that's probably stood out is Pablo Dirty. He's been really good. Like he just he's in and away against Clermont and things like that. He's been. I wouldn't be surprised if they sort of called him up into the French squad maybe, but all
pick him because of his moustache.
Yeah, maybe in his mullet, but
maybe they change up.
But yeah, those sort of guys like Jalibek and his little change of speed or a chip and chase. Max is always there. Like he's like, it's hard to. One Taps has been good too. I think Ben Tapawai brings a lot of go forward or gives like the system a bit. Like I feel like we're more structured when he's playing.
So he gives a hard line. Go forward.
Like that older, he's sort of experienced and stuff.
So you guys haven't done your job. Maybe he could that fast ball to give an opportunity. How about you coming over? Yes, I think players that are Irish.
Yeah, absolutely. I think for me, it's like probably more based around the forwards. Is that like Big Tommy Afuna, like played an incredible game on the weekend, and whenever there's a hard carry that needs to be made or put you on the front foot, he's there putting his hand up, and then like no one's looking around thinking who's going to carry. He's just putting his hand up and he's putting his head down and he's just running straight. There's nothing better as a teammate, just having that. You just know every time he's going to be there. Tavita Tatafu, who's come from Japan. We didn't know how he was going to play in the French competition because you come from the Japanese comp. Not too many games. There's probably like 10 to 15 games to come in and play in a 30-game comp. And he's been incredible this year. Awesome. His engine's unreal. His carries, he always like Ben. He's always on the front foot, and that lets us play on the advantage line for our backs. And so those two for me, like they've really stood up this.
Yeah, players like that. As you talked about earlier, if you don't create that fast ball, you can't do much out of that. He was brought up in Japan, wasn't he? He spent his youth.
Yeah, I don't know what age, but I think he spent 10 years there. So he's got a Japanese wife, speaks fluent Japanese, writes Japanese.
Japanese work ethic.
Yeah.
Kane, Adam, thanks so much, guys.
Okay, some great insights there from Adam and Kane about how Bordeaux can win this game at the weekend. Now, let's have a little think about Stade Francais. What are they going to bring to the party? Stade Francais are a suffocating team. Think of Saracens 5 years ago. Good kicking game, great defence, set piece very strong, pressuring the opposition. Whenever they get turnovers or first phase, they have dangerous players with X factor who can really make things happen. That's their strength. That's how they play. Let's have a quick look
at some clips of Stade Francais and how they're going to play this weekend.
Kick quality and motivation. Look at the line speed on that chase. Look at the quality of kick. These are some of the key elements that Stade Francais bring to every game. First phase, they win 50 metres as a result. They're motivated, they got their spacings in defence, allows them to rush up again and win 20 more metres. This is how they suffocate the opposition. Again, we're going to see the team, they've worked hard to get their spacings. They're very ball aware and they're very connected, which allows them to shut down the opposition from playing too much, isolate attackers, create turnovers like the one we're seeing here, penalties into their half again. As well as this defence and kicking game, a set piece, a scrum, a line out and a maul, which can pressure the opposition massively and create penalty, field position opportunities. That stable set piece also means that one of their major weapons is their launch plays, their ability to use line out, maul, scrum to launch certain players into certain spaces that create opportunities like we see here. And again, off this line out, off the top, good, well-executed launch plays. First phase threats from Stade Francais is another one of their strengths, allowing them to create opportunities to get into the opposition 22 and score tries. That defence, that kicking game, that set-piece dominance gives them lots of opportunities in the opposition 22. And once there, they're efficient, patient, using their power players to get that ball over the line. However, Stade can be a team that really struggle to create opportunities with the ball in hand. Their attacking system can be clunky and slow, unable to threaten the defensive line, to pull defenders apart, create space which they can attack, create that fast ball and line breaks behind them. When they fail to create fast ball, to create space to attack, they go straight back to their suffocating game. If they play against a team with a great defence and a suffocating game as good as theirs, will they create enough opportunities to win the game?
Thanks for joining us. Hope you've enjoyed Bordeaux, a city still beautiful despite the grey and the snow. Also looking at Bordeaux rugby team, a team that are going to take on Stade Francais, and hopefully we'll see the amazing rugby we've seen them produce for the last few weeks. See you next time.